I hope everyone's doing well. I miss being with you guys and being able to do reading lessons and reading activities and have conversations with you guys. Um, I know at school we are used to reading different articles about special events that are going on in our country or around the world. Typically, we read about more lighthearted things, things that have to do with celebrations, maybe holidays. But we also do read a lot about what's going on in the world or within our country. And we usually get a lot of that information from our breaking news newspaper. And I chose an article about something that's going on in our country, but also globally. That's a very important topic. It's a very important. It's an important topic that we need to discuss and we need to read about and learn about because it is all over the news. It could be going on in your neighborhoods. People in your families might be talking a lot about it. And it's something that we would talk about while we are in school. So I'm just going to read you a short breaking news article about protests that have been going on in our country and around the world too. But we're hearing and seeing a lot of it going on in the United States. And it could be going on in your towns or in a town close to you. So we're just going to read the article together, and then maybe this is something that you can definitely discuss with your parents, or maybe watch a little bit more about it on the news. So our article is from the World News section of our newspaper, and it was dated June 1st, so this is from Monday. And the article is called "People Continue to Protest." People across the United States continue to protest. Some people around the world are protesting too. They are protesting after the death of a man named George Floyd. George died after a police officer hurt him. People are very sad and very angry right now. And it's okay to feel that way. And it's very justifiable. George Floyd was an African American man. The police officer is a white man. People say that some police are not fair to African Americans. Many people want to be treated fairly. We know that in school, we have talked about how to treat people fairly, how to be kind to everyone, how we don't judge people based on what they look like. And we've talked about how we don't judge people based on where they come from, what their skin color is. We've talked about how even having a disability, sometimes people might judge us differently. And we've talked about how that makes us feel. And I know a lot of you guys say sometimes that makes you feel sad or upset, someone said embarrassed once, I think, or nervous. Everyone wants to be treated fairly. And right now, people who are African American are fighting for their right to be treated fairly. So many people are protesting to tell everyone to be fair. Okay. Protesting is when people will get together peacefully and they will try to share their message with the people in our government, the police. They want to be heard. Okay. So you might see protests on the news, or maybe there's protests going on in your neighborhood. I know I've seen some where people are just getting together and they want people to understand how they're feeling and they want people to start making these changes. Many people and police want the protests to be peaceful, okay? They want to make sure that everyone is safe and that nobody's getting hurt during these protests. Some people and police have decided to protest together. Some people, however, they do not want the protests to be peaceful. So some people want to see things not go so smoothly. I don't really know how to describe it. They want to see maybe a little more chaos. So what's happening is some of those people are burning buildings and looting stores. And you guys, again, you might have seen that on TV. There's a lot going on right now. Um, and it's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel angry about it. It's okay to feel scared. This is something that it's important for you guys to talk to people about and talk about how you're feeling. Okay? But again, people are protesting in many cities around the United States. It's not just protesting in one area. There are protests in New York. I know there have been protests in Albany, where I live, where our school is. It's not right near our school, but there's been protests in the city. There's been protests in New York City, in Texas, in Minnesota, California, everywhere. There's protests going on everywhere. Okay. These, and they're going to give us some more examples of the cities that these protests are going on in. Some of the cities that we are seeing protests in are Minneapolis, Minnesota, Washington, D.C., that's our capital of the country, Los Angeles, California, New York City, Atlanta, Georgia, Louisville, Kentucky, and many more. There's protests going on everywhere. Because some of the protests haven't been as peaceful, because again, there's some people that are coming to the protests to maybe trying to stir up a little chaos, maybe. Some cities have set curfews to help people be safe. That means people are not allowed to go outside during the curfew. So they might say, by 9 o'clock, you need to be home in your home, and you shouldn't leave until 6 o'clock the next day in the morning. And that's to keep people safe, so so no one gets hurt. But again, this is a time where a lot of people have a lot of emotions going on. It's important for you guys to talk to your parents or people who you are staying with right now about what's going on. Feel free to ask questions. Feel free to share your thoughts and your opinions. Again, we have talked a lot about discrimination in our classroom. We talk about how we don't like being treated differently because of how we look. And it's important for us to make sure we don't treat other people differently because of how they look. And it's a time for us to support each other and be kind and help everyone out. If you guys have any questions about this or would like more information, please reach out to me and I can get you more materials. I would be happy to talk to you about it via Google Classroom. I think it's important for us to talk about because it is such a big it's a big event going on in our country right now. But I just want to let you know I love you all. I miss you. Please stay safe. Please stay healthy. And again, please reach out to me if you have any questions. Bye, guys.